Hey guys, it's your big spot. Blah, 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 blah. Hello. Hey guys, it's your best boxing friends. I'm Kelsey. This is Rachel. Rachel, Anthony Joshua is going to descend upon America on Saturday, June 1st.
I hope he's already descended, right?
Yeah, he's actually, I think he trained in Miami. Do you think him and Will Smith hung out and sung that song? You know?
Bienvenidos a Miami.
I was thinking the Aladdin song, but.
The Aladdin song? What does that have to do with Miami?
Well, I was thinking about Anthony Joshua, what a big deal it is for him to come over here, fighting in America, main event in America. You know, and it's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's like, I was looking at the boxing schedule, and there's a lot of content out there. It's like, boxing schedule headlined by Anthony Joshua's American debut, blah, 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 against Andy Ruiz. But then I was like, didn't Tyson Fury already do this? Like, I don't know what it's like overseas, obviously. But didn't Tyson Fury already do this better? Like, he came over here too, and he fought,
Well, how many times has Tyson Fury fought in the U.S.?
He's fought here at least twice.
Okay, so I think the thing is this is the first time for Joshua. It wasn't the first time for Fury when he fought Wilder.
Right. So Tyson Fury he fought on a main events NBC show. He fought Steve Cunningham a long time ago. This was like when that show was still on, first of all. And I remember not being super impressed with him because he got knocked down by Steve Cunningham, who's basically a cruiserweight. But Tyson Fury, obviously, first of all, Tyson Fury always kind of fights to his competition, or he used to historically. Remember when Tyson Fury first came up? We didn't think he was going to be a heavyweight champion of the world. Definitely didn't think he was going to be Vladimir Klitschko, but he was fun to watch, right? He was a fun fighter to watch fight. Man, hasn't he knocked it out of the park? Anthony Joshua hopes to knock it out of the park by having a great performance against Andy Ruiz. This is not his original opponent. His original opponent was Gerald Miller, who is, at least on paper, a more credible opponent for Joshua's debut because he's undefeated.
We'll have to see in actuality. What do you see about...
Maybe on paper less credible because he failed once drug test.
Right. What do you think about like people when they say stuff like Joshua needs to have a good showing in his American debut? So, like, he can't just beat Ruiz. Like, he has to beat him in some kind of certain way.
Well,
like, what do you think about when people say that?
I think that it makes sense from a certain point of view in that Anthony Joshua, if you're a supporter of Anthony Joshua or you're one of his handlers who benefit financially from his success, you want him to come over here and make a big splash with a big knockout, something like that. But that's obviously you can't. Anthony Joshua isn't thinking about that. He's just going into the fight trying to win the fight.
And he shouldn't be, right? Like,
no.
He should be thinking,
this is stuff for, like, fans and other people
visualizing his game plan, what he's, trained to do and stuff like that.
Have you seen the promotional poster for it?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, you have, because that's my desktop wallpaper.
Oh, okay, then I have, yeah.
Well, what's funny to me about these promotional ads, that's not to think about it, is just because, like, Anthony Joshua is, like, 4 inches taller than Andy Ruiz. But on the poster, they're eye to eye. Like, they're completely different human specimens. And that Anthony Joshua, both of them are skilled boxers, but Anthony Joshua has like that elite athlete, professional athlete body. You know what I mean?
He does.
And Andy Ruiz does not. Whatever you think about Andy Ruiz as a fighter or how he carries his weight, he just doesn't have that same kind of body. Even if he was in great...
Which is fine. It doesn't mean that somebody's not athletic. They can be athletic and just not have the typical body that you would expect.
But it does mean that like he's really on an uphill battle. No matter how skilled he is, because he is really skilled as a fighter, some people just have different kinds of bodies, right? I've interviewed a lot of professional fighters, and what always strikes me about many of them, and usually the elite ones, is how different just they look, how their bodies are just made different than from like normal people.
Right, yeah.
How long their arms are, how tall they are, just their physiques are just different. It's not that two people, like if you have one person that's like a regular person, oversimplified, regular person and professional athlete person, they can both put in the same amount of work, put in both the same amount, have the same amount of skill, but this guy has a Vladimir Klitschko body, and this guy looks like Kelsey McCarson. Vladimir Klitschko is always going to have the leg up.
Okay. I think I listened to an interview and they were talking about Michael Phelps and how like the greatness that he reached, but in part was due to genetics because Michael Phelps, his body is built for swimming.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we read that. It was in that book we read.
It was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was the James Clear book, I think, Atomic Habits. It talked about his
or it might have been Power of Habit because that had more stories in it. But it was one of
I
those
think
books.
It might have been in both, but yeah.
But yeah, so they talked about how like you could take an identical person, everything identical, but like they just couldn't achieve what Phelps achieved. So that's what you're saying about Joshua. That part of his success is due to his physical genetics.
He's like, he was born for this. Just similarly to even both of the other two heavyweight champions are the same. Deontay Wilder, nobody is as tall and fast and hits as hard as Deontay Wilder. Like, he was made to be a boxer.
Right.
Or even Tyson Fury, who looks and fights the most like a regular type person, except that Tyson Fury is 6'9" and has
like
that kind of hand speed. It's not
yeah.
something that just normal people walk around with. So I think that Andy Ruiz will give a good effort in the fight because it's his second fight for the heavyweight championship. I've already seen him fight Joseph Parker for a version of the heavyweight championship at one time when Parker had the belt, and he just couldn't quite. It was a good fight, close fight. Some people maybe thought, but it was a close fight against a Joseph Parker guy who is definitely, I think, under Anthony Joshua. Obviously, Anthony Joshua defeated him by decision. So I think that everything, all this to say that all the things are there right now for Anthony Joshua to have that big performance that people like Rachel obviously want to see Anthony Joshua have. So that he comes over here and takes over America as the heavyweight champion of the world. He's got 3 of the belts. He's got a great resume. He's undefeated. He's got Olympic success behind him. He's got a whole nation of people behind him. He's likable. He looks like a heavyweight champion, right? And so I think what's great for boxing is a great heavyweight division. When I was growing up, we had a great heavyweight division. We had Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe. And we're starting to kind of be like that now with all the great heavyweight title holders that we have, the 3 that we mentioned. And then you've got guys like Luis Ortiz, and you've got Dillian White and other guys below that add real depth to the division in a way that it hasn't been there in years.
Yeah. And just like what makes the boxing great is your participation. What makes Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel great is also your participation. So we appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe because it makes the show better.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Hey, just a quick note, we're really excited about going to New York this week. We'll be taking you along for the ride with us. I don't know how it's going to look yet, so we'll just see. But we're really excited to take you all the places that we go and like show you around. We're going to get there Thursday. We're actually going to a baseball game Thursday. That's the Texas Rangers hat. We're not seeing the Texas Rangers, seeing the Yankees and the Red Sox. But we'll be at the Boxing Writers Association of America dinner on Friday night with all the bigwigs. It'll be us and the bigwigs. Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel and the bigwigs. And then Saturday we'll be at the fight.
Kelsey will definitely be at the fight.
We're going to work. Something's going to happen there. So, hey, if you want to put some positive vibes that way, do that because we want the universe, a.k.a. God, to open that door. Open the door. Lisa, that closed it.
Here's an irrelevant but interesting little tidbit. Earlier you mentioned your desktop is the Joshua Ruiz fight poster.
Yeah.
Right? Interesting tidbit is that Kelsey does changes like his laptop his desktop background, his phone lock screensaver, changes those pretty like regularly in and out.
The mood fancies me. I fancy the.
I have had the same phone lock screen since like 2013.
Yeah.
The same one. And my desktop background has been the same for like 3 years.
Very strange. You're strange.
Very, very different on those.
We're very different in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But also very much the same. We're both carbon-based life forms.
We are.
Did you know that?
All right.
Oh, so
we're done.
We're going to go through. We both read there. We both like boxing. We're both your best boxing friends. Think them all that. We both like the Texas Rangers.